Welcome back to the channel again, guys. So today we've got a little blue box, but this little blue box can save you mega bucks. So I've just got my hands on the Artemis GR1250S sniper rifle, .22 caliber, 900 feet per second, and boy does it have a lot of recoil. And I just destroyed my first scope. So unfortunately, I needed to find an alternative. And I think this little blue box is that alternative. So what's inside this little blue box? I introduced to you T-Eagle Zero Recoil Scope Mount. So as you can see here, that moves back and forth. So it's got a high tension spring here. So essentially, once you fire your gun, that's gonna absorb all the recoil and move your scope forward and back with the movement of the gun essentially. So this might just be a savior to all your scope issues. So if you got few guys got guns like this one that has a lot of recoil, essentially you're gonna be eating through scopes. So I'm not sure, I'm just a beginner air rifle guy, but I've seen guys use these type of gadget and plenty of them say, you know what, it does a fantastic job. So I decided to get myself one of these. So if you're in South Africa, guys, I've searched everywhere and I found it quite difficult to find one of these. And I found one of these at a pretty reasonable price. And it was only 450 bucks, around 450 bucks, so around 500 rand. And the next best price to this was 1,500 rand. Not going to tell you where that was, but I picked this one up at from the guys over at Neon Sales. So delivery was speedy from them, kept me informed as to when my stuff would be delivered. So if you're looking for any gadgets or pellet guns or air rifles or anything of the sort, check the guys out at Neon Sales, because they might have just saved my life and saved my pocket from getting empty and buying scopes. So maybe I just have to get a new scope and try this out. So let me give you guys a closer look of this it's called a Zero Recoil Scope Mount. It's from T-Eagle. Oh yeah, what's cool about this is that it comes with this inside caps, so that's gonna fit in there, and you're gonna put one into the upper ring of your scope ring. That comes included with the set, comes with the Allen key as well. And so what that essentially means is, I mean, you can buy a budget scope, a cheap scope, and you can throw it on here, or you can remove these caps from there and you can put in an expensive scope. So that's the cool part about it. So guys, very important to note, you'll see that there's these little holes in here. So what you want to do is perhaps tighten those screws, because I've seen a guy on YouTube, while using the Zero Recoil Scope Mount, one of these pins flew out while firing his gun. This mount was working perfectly, but what he had failed to do was tighten these little screws in here. I think that's what, when you're buying these, the guys will forget to tell you that too. So you got to make sure you tighten these 4 screws down. So if you don't have the tool, that's kind of what you want to look for. So once you tighten those down, then obviously these pins will be secure, because once you're firing and this is moving back and forth with an impact, those pins may come loose from there. Sure. So obviously you wanna, when you get this mount as well, just kind of like put a little lubrication on this bars here, as you can see. they do get a lot of dirt on them. I don't know how, but try and get them lubricated, fasten these screws down. Essentially, when you obviously when you're mounting, when you're putting a mount onto your gun, make sure it's properly mounted on. If you look under here, it's got a stop pin, so that's gonna go into the hole of your rifle. So yeah, if you guys remember, you watched a previous video, that's a scope stopper that I put there. So that's going to be removed, and the zero recoil scope mount is going to be fitted on. So let me just show you what it looks like when it's fitted on. Let me just do that quickly. So there we go. It's mounted securely. Make sure the stop pin is in there. Screws are fastened up, as you can see. So that's what's going to happen. So always remember, this part with the spring sticking out and the bar sticking out should be facing towards the back of the gun, because essentially when you fire, it's going to be pulling this front, so you want that to move front. Don't flip it the other way. It should always be this way. Yeah, so this scope that I just put on, it's broke, it's no use. So guys, if you're getting a gun with a lot of recoil and a lot of power, and you notice your scopes are getting destroyed, this might just save you. So T-Eagle zero recoil mount, you can find it at the guys over at Neon Sales. Thanks. Hope you liked the video, guys. Don't forget again to give us a thumbs up and drop us a subscribe.